What's going on, fellas? Y'all right?
Yeah, good.
I like to think that I'm sitting here with the actual big three, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? We've had this conversation before behind, you know what I'm saying? Y'all three are, me and Al spoke, what was it, last Monday or whatever, and I had to hang up the phone because I'm like, yo, we're yeah, too much is going on. I personally feel y'all three guys are undermined because of the subgenre that y'all fall under. I don't believe, Ceej, I told you that a couple of years ago, whatnot, you was hosting something. I'm like, Ceej, it's almost as if you got a governor on you a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? To where like, okay, they know that y'all get busy, but again, because of that subgenre that y'all fall under, which is non-secular, gospel rap, Christian rap, I don't think y'all peers actually take y'all that serious. Because it's like, all right, they're not gonna go but so far. You understand what I'm saying? So before we actually unpack that right there, how do you think y'all are viewed by your peers, especially falling under that subgenre of non-secular?
I mean, this. Go ahead.
I mean, when you say peers, like
Here, within the upstate, your peers.
Other rappers.
other rappers,
Yes, sir.
like
Yes,
that.
sir. How do you feel that you're viewed?
Hopefully, in truth, you know what I'm saying? Because to me, that's what I wanna stand for. That's what I want them to see in me. You know, it's truth behind every bar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the truth is what we stand for. You know, I don't know how they view me.
So what's it like when you actually walk into an event where it's I guess you would say a music-based event or whatnot, or an indie concert or something?
Let me say
that.
this. To me, I understand the sentiment that you're making, right? And I think that's along the lines of we talking a competitive nature of what hip hop is.
Mm-hmm.
Then it turns into, all right, yeah, they only go us, but so far, et cetera, et cetera. But for me, when I'm in the room, there's a respect factor because, okay, to his point, we know bar for bar, we can get busy. To your point. But like I was saying, for me though, there's a certain respect people get because I think we live in such a truth of our music that we don't even have to be in no facade or nothing else. And we have a lane that's so pure to us that doesn't require us to be anything but that truth. And I think that's why we're so respected.
Yeah, I mean, how could you hate it?
Right.
You know,
I don't think it's a matter of hate, but even when you say truth, right? How much of hip hop is actually built on truth when we talk about the competitive aspect of it?
That's my point.
It's the competitive. When you listen to battle rap, the things of those guys, yo, I got a joint, flip it around. Like, come on, dog, you gotta go.
Well, that's why I think artists respect us. And from what I've experienced, and I tell you if I felt like it was any different or something fake, but I don't think so. Just because of the fact that we don't have to do that. And I think it's a respect thing, and it's a like, well, I wish I could feel like that in my rap. You know, we saying no cap in my rap. We don't even have to do that because we're not even in that space or lane with y'all, with everybody else. And I think a lot of artists want to be that way, but they in such a lane that they got to put on that facade to even be relevant. And when we carry the moniker of God, the moniker of Christ, and that's the catalyst to everything we say or do, people might not think that can take them but so far, and that's what it boils down to. But when you live in this truth and you do it from an artist perspective, it's like a respect. It's like, dang, bro, I wish I could feel like that in my craft. I think people low-key feel that way. A lot of them.
Reggie, what about you?
Yeah, just pretty much everything Ceej said is because one thing for sure is it's definitely respect. Definitely respect. And the reason I say that because a lot of the artists that aren't in our genre love working with us as well. And they know when they get on the record with us, you kind of really gotta listen to us to even determine, like make that decision, be like, oh, okay, we talking about God, right? And so, like, we can fit in any pocket, but our source, the source and the foundation and everything that we're talking about is standing on that faith and leading everybody, you know, to Christ at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I think that we are all just so unique in our own ways. That's why it works for us, and it's honest. You know what I'm saying? And so you can't do nothing but respect honesty, because I've had conversations with a whole bunch of other secular artists that might hit me up and be like, hey man, tell me what you think about this, and they'll send me a song where they talk about God or they talk about their faith. You know what I'm saying? And
That's a blessing.
that's the respect that we get.
That's a blessing.
Man, I think we definitely get respect.
I
We get a
really
lot
said
of respect.
that's it.
So do y'all think the title, the subgenre, is even necessary then? Especially in 2024, is it even a need to have that subgenre of gospel rap? or
I
Christian rap?
really don't care, to be honest with you, man. Like, you can put whatever you want underneath that. It just never bothered me.
I don't think there's a need for it personally. Because even when you listen to someone like Jeezy, who's, you know what I'm saying, they call him Pastor Young. He's actually, you know, telling you his truth and whatnot. Even with the lines being blurred, when you got someone like Post Malone, he's under the rap genre. When you look at someone like Drake and Rod Wave, they tend to tread on the R&B aspect of it. So for me, I don't even think it's necessary. But nonetheless, I think it's still something that whenever you hear top 5 of anything, it's never top 10, top 20. It's never that within that right there.
Right.
I throw a little wrench, but I have to say I do agree. I do agree.
With
I don't think it's necessary
right.
when we're just talking like titles, because it or labels, because that sort of predefines sometimes. Because I find myself doing that. If I'm like, I was at Clemson the other night with the players and all that, on Cemento, and I'm like, yo, check out me. Oh, well, what you do? And then I sometimes have to think how I'm gonna unpack this to you. I be like, it's, you know what I'm saying, it's Christian hip hop, but it ain't like what you might think, bro. You got to listen, and I find myself doing that.
And you try,
You know what I'm saying? Because
you trying to
I got to
convince
unpack
them.
it. Yeah.
Because what happens a lot of times, as soon as you say it's gospel rap or whatever you want to say, they automatically. But I understand though, because a lot of it is the whack though. I don't care if you're talking about God, it's still.
From a
So
musical
can
standpoint, it's trash.
Yeah.
So can I say, and that's sort of, but then it's twofold to me. So I don't think it's necessary, because when you hear us, you know first and foremost, man, these are MCs for real. These are artists, bro. They like that. I can
Nah,
listen to
like
them.
I said before the cameras rolling, y'all really like the big 3 for real. When I was talking to Al last week, I'm like, Al, I'm in those rooms, even if he's not in those rooms, I'm even on the phone. They're talking about Al, right? They look at Al like, yo, when he walk in, it's like, oh man, that's Al right there, yo. They like really feel like, okay, my pencil gotta be sharp if I'm about to get busy. When I say like, yo, dude, you're like Black Thought. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're like Black Thought in my mind.
But see, that's the point I make to where I say the title's not necessary. We know the content is, but the context of who we are can't ever be undermined by not being okay with that title. What I mean by that is, for us, right, this is ministry for real. It has to be, it's a lifestyle also. And we can't ever get to the point. I think we got to be careful, because now I think the world needs the church, needs the spirit of ministry and what we offer so much now, that we get so caught up in saying, I don't gotta be a Christian hip hop. Don't call me that. I ain't a Christian. I don't know, man. We need to start relaying that message that yes, I am. And watch what that gives you. Watch what my truth in being that gives you. And the more and more we continue to shy away from that, sometimes I think it might start masking and trying to conform and fit. And we don't need to do that. We're supposed to be set apart. So the older, the more mature I get, I'm starting to realize, like, I don't know, man. Maybe we do need to make that title mean something different.
Facts.
Instead of figuring out how to hide it.
And even having a title, and I wouldn't respect a person who wouldn't want to hold near to that title though, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because you don't get respect from the world because you do that, because you it's not genuine, you know what I mean? They don't respect you for you saying, no, don't call me that, man. That's what you do.
Right. Now you conforming, and they like, oh man, if you gonna be there, but now you trying to, and it make you, I feel you.
So
That's a
since
good
we're
point.
talking about conforming, what has been some of the challenges that y'all have actually met with saying like, you know what, all right, cool, it's gospel rap, but check this out, what has been some of the challenges that y'all have been met with, and how did y'all overcome that? Or did y'all even bother like, all right, maybe it's not for you?
I mean, me myself, I like to share a little bit about what I've been through.
Mhm.
Whenever I meet somebody and they say they're interested in the music or something like that, I tell them, because if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here, and that's real. My mother wouldn't be here. Life was hell. And I did what I had to do, went through what I had to go through. And after I share that with them, we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Sometimes the word, when they hear you, they hear your heart. They say, hey, let me. And yeah, you can call me a Christian rapper, gospel rapper. Christ is in the center of everything. And it's powerful. It's the most powerful thing to me, because it's transformative. It's the answer to it's the answer to every question. Every amount of pain,
Right.
discomfort.
Right.
Your child acting up, gang banging, getting shot. Catching time, whatever it may be. This Christian rap could help. Yeah, I've had parents call me like, "Yo, you think you could?" I can't tell you how many, and I know y'all have too.
And actually, you had a live, was it last week? It was a live, you said you was leaving work, and there was somebody outside that was doing whatever,
Yeah.
and you actually, something told you, let me turn around and go talk to
Yeah.
this young man.
Yeah, cause I had to use the bathroom, right?
Right.
And because I drink so much water, and normally when I hit the house, boom, as soon as I hit the house, I'm in the bathroom. That's too much information. Like I said,
That's old age, that's, we
yeah,
didn't know, I did the same thing.
I guess
I do the
I don't
same
like to
thing.
think like that, but listen.
Try to perk your water. So before I
But
say
listen,
this,
so I said,
Right.
so I said, I'm gonna try to make it to this QT up the street. Spinks was right here. I was like, nah, man, I'm gonna lose that. I walked in the bathroom. As soon as I opened the door, it was two teens, a black dude, white dude. They was behind the door, exchanging. And so, I startled him. The black, he kind of got rowdy a little bit. Why who you want? Why? So I knew they was doing something they had no business. And while I was in the bathroom, God spoke to me. He said, they need to know me too. They need to know me too. How else will they know me if you don't, try to plant a seed in them now. They may have never been at church ever. This generation, man, listen, I've never seen this before.
Were they received well? Was it received well?
Well, yeah. As a matter of fact, when I asked him, but he was shaking, like he was freezing or something. It wasn't cold out there like that, but he was shaking. And it kind of concerned me. I was like, man, but I know what it is, though. I know what it is, but I prayed over him, and he said thank you. And I left, man. I left full. Yeah, like God, I listened.
He was obedient.
Yeah, I was. I was, and it felt good. That's just part of, why we do why we do what we do, man. Because when God confirms you, you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
You listen, you carry it through, and then He confirms you. It's powerful.
Ceej, what were some of the obstacles that you actually came? Because you even had a label at one point, you know what I'm saying? Elephant Group. So what were some of the obstacles that you were faced with when you were trying to book shows, when you were trying to sign artists, distribution, so forth and so on?
well, just from that perspective, on the challenges is probably the same challenges as everybody in the industry, but if anything, it's marketability. It's the way in which you unpack that what we do. Because we gotta somehow come up with we gotta create a
Scheme.
and it's like, and then we gotta overcome this whole obstacle of being, and sometimes the marketability of that. Now the flip side of that is, it's also what's made me stand out, what's made us stand out. because it has set us apart. So, I mean, I can't say there's a whole lot of challenges any other than, it's not a challenge, I say, because to Al's point, you know, there's a lot of rappers out there who start rapping because they was bored, or who start rapping because they was, whatever the case is.
They caught a wave.
You caught a wave, or they just, man, I ain't a rapper, I ain't a, for us, I experienced, now I've been rapping since 12, but I came into this, what we do, from real life experience with God. And then it becomes a true outlet and outpouring of ministry. He just said he loves full. We become empty in ministry. And our words, our opportunity to minister, the things that we do, our heady shows and all that, if you come and experience one, you'll soon see, oh man, this ain't like a concert. You're gonna get all of that, you're gonna be entertained all that, and then there's gonna be this other aspect with us that the ministry involves. So for us, it's not really challenging because it's ministry.
Right.
And that's what can keep us afloat when other people can't find their why as an artist, because it gets very difficult to just be consistent as an artist. But when you're outside of yourself and you've submitted your gift to Christ, and now it's how you refuel, it's how you live out, it's how you articulate. Well, now what would have become a challenge is a part of our being, and I think that's the difference a lot. So.
It's second nature. Yeah.
Reg, yourself, because you have a song that you released. Honestly, it's probably one of my top 10 songs of the year now. My Moment. You actually said that you were actually booked more when you actually got the low cut versus the braids, the rib Jordans and the 3 cements and all that.
Yeah.
So what were some of the obstacles, even within that line right there? You was feeling something when you wrote that. So what was it that you were experiencing? I can only think, what were you experiencing? I can only think it was an obstacle at that point in time.
I think for me it was just, I think I cared because I've been doing music for so long, and I've been in the secular world. I was in the secular world longer than I was been doing.
Oh, word.
Doing this, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it was me getting in my own way though. And so when I came from the secular world, you know, what was important was image. The way you look, you know what I'm saying, would be something where, you know, how people will perceive you, you know what I'm saying? So what started happening to me is that I found myself doing stuff to be accepted. You know what I'm saying? Rather than
This is currently, this was early on in your journey.
It's like early.
Okay.
And so that's when my moment, like, because I didn't want to even do music though, again. You know what I mean?
Right. We had a conversation that you wanted to retire.
Yeah, I didn't want to do no music. And so I think the challenge was just me always getting in my way, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how to easily not, like, turn that off and not do it. You know what I'm saying? And I saw even when it came to my tattoos, I was trying to cover them up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And because of how the church would look at you, you know what I'm saying? It was like, no, he ain't about to come in here talking about no Jesus. You know what I mean? And so what I had to understand, I had to deepen my relationship with God, which was something that just seemed like it was just being merely religious rather than a real relationship that I can actually be who he called me to be. And regardless of how they receive it, I know God is pleased with me, you know what I'm saying? And so that's what I was talking about in my moment, you know what I'm saying? To be honest, they did book me more when I had the fade, so you telling me the way I look determines if I'm saved, you know what I'm saying? And so I was dealing with some stuff with myself and then just looking at how people saw me. You know what I'm saying? Do I get received? And I have to revert back to like some of the testimonies that we all share, you know what I'm saying? About people calling us and telling us how we bless them with being honest with ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And this lady called me, a young lady who was thinking about, you know, committing suicide or something like that. And I think she heard one of my projects. And so she sent me a video talking, and then she went down to her calf muscle and got the rock bottom logo
Oh man, that's dope.
on her leg, you know what I'm saying? Tattooed. I was like,
This is real.
You know, it ain't one of them proud moments though, but it's kind of like, And then, but I'm just thinking like, man, my pain, my struggles, everything I talk about in the music was able to bless and help somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
You know, as I was going through your music, right, I'm very familiar with your music, but I wanted to refresh myself, right? I was thinking about it, and I'm like, when I listen to your music, I feel like you speak from a place of God, I need you. I need you. When I listen to your music, to me, it feels like you're telling the people how good God has been to you. When I listen to your music, that gave me the most challenge. And I'm like, I feel like you're speaking from a leadership standpoint, even when you look at the different titles that you actually have. You know, you're actually a real estate developer, Bars Academy, the Elephant Group joint. You're head of the Juneteenth celebration performance. So when I looked at it, I was like, okay, he speaks from a leadership, almost from the podium to a degree. But then the other side of it is, I hear that, I could be off, but I hear that you still want that respect as an MC. I feel like you kind of straddle the fence of, all right, I'm gonna send this message, but I still want y'all to know that I am a rapper.
I can see that.
I say this. Let me tell you something that I say.
Yeah.
I say that I speak my mind. He spills his guts, and Al pours his heart.
Wow, okay.
That's something I've always said, and I speak from the, is it precipice the right word here, of my mind, of right now, and I look at and I'm not gonna say I'm a student of hip hop because I don't want to paint a narrative. I'm not, but
Why wouldn't you be a student of hip hop?
because I'm not gonna sit and pretend like I'm like a historian of it. Like I'm gonna break down. I'm
As
a
a scholar, being a student
Okay.
is those are two
There it
different
is.
things.
I understand moments extremely well. That's the gift that God gave me. Like I know moment. That's why I like the stage, from the acting, all these different things. I really understand moments. And so for me, like as an artist, that's crazy you say that. I have to agree with that. But it's because I understand the impact of moments, and I know that, man, in this moment, we have the ability in our music and in our 16 to immediately change the mind frame of those listeners. And it can happen that fast. I've seen it. I've been to shows. I've seen people that come and be like, man, we had a conversation in here at the church. Was having a Bible study, men's Bible study. A young man was telling us things, and he was like, hey, Ceej, you don't even know, man, the only reason I'm here is because of you. I was like, what you mean? He's like, man, I've been listening to music since I was 13. He was like, it's the reason I got into the faith and I stayed with it. And he'd been going to the church for like 2 years and never told me that.
Yeah, but do y'all
And I was
shy
like,
away
bro.
from that? Because it seemed like you was a little reluctant when he said that. Like, why me? Kind of sort.
It threw me
Even when
off.
you said a young lady got the rock bottom
Yeah.
tattoo, it was like, are y'all reluctant with it? Like, whoa, hold on. I'm just rapping per se. I'm just giving you my ministry through the music, sonically. Y'all might be taking this a little bit too far. That's what it sounded like a little bit. Is there any hesitation in regards to that?
I think it's the humbling.
Okay.
It's the reminder of like, man,
The responsibility.
the responsibility and the weight of.
And I get scared.
Wait,
I get scared though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
That's
get
a real
scared.
thing.
And see, and to your point, like I see, even like I have so much, I honor and have respect for like artists. So I can listen to all different genres of music because they don't like, it ain't gonna make me go want to go do nothing else. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's why I rock with even secular artists. Like I have real relationships with them. Like, and because they respect me, and I also respect them because I respect them in their truth. I'll never shy away from who I am and what my content is.
Right.
But you don't expect me to.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying though, so I'm always, even sometimes, I do speak from perspective of not only am I having weight and the responsibility to influence the listeners, it's also colleagues that I have the responsibility to influence as well. And that's how I feel about it. So maybe that is why I sort of have that thing where because I understand the artistry of it all. Like I love the artistry of music. There's some artists around here who's put together some projects, and I'll be like, bro, like you thought through this thing, man. Like, God, I love that so much.
Absolutely.
And
And if
you
people
know,
are familiar with y'all music, especially y'all two, y'all are very heavily inspired by Hope. Very much so.
yeah. I mean, I grew. I mean, when I came up,
Very much so.
I was.
Yeah,
That was a big part of.
Who would you say one of your inspiration was? I couldn't pull it. I wanted to say Pop because you speak with such conviction, right? People have no choice but to stop and listen to what you're saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That even when I say that you speak for how good God's been to you, you do not shy away from reminding people what you've been through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even in the beginning of your album, you had your mom telling your story. Telling her story of how, well, I don't know how I got here, but, you know, my baby was delivered. You know what I'm saying? So what was who is your influence? I could not pull it. I only think of Pop.
I mean, you said it. You said it, man. All through middle school, high school, Pop raised me. You know what I mean? Because everything he was speaking about, his mama on dope.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? My mama was on dope.
Mm-hmm.
My mama relapsed 3 times. My mama left me at home with my brothers and sisters and my step pops. You know, I had to take a loose plaits and plat them back up and take them to school. And then boom, I go to school. You know, I had to work at Capri's Italian restaurant, you know, and I had to help my
That was my first job. Man.
Yeah, I remember you told me. I remember you told me. You know,
See?
yeah, for sure. I remember that. I remember that. But yeah, so I could relate to Pop. You know, Pop raised, like I said, he raised me, man. I'm thugged out now. You know, the smallest thing out there. You know, but I got a pistol. You know what I'm saying? And I took it to school. I put it in my locker and I showed people. You know, Pop had me gone. I mean, all the not just the music, his movies. You know, Gang Related, Poetic Justice, Gridlock. I was on all of them, bro. We had the cassette player back then. I mean, VHS, and I had all his movies, man, and all his music, you know, and I was Pop. Pop was in me, you know. So yeah, Pop. Now it got to a point where, I was against Nas and Jay-Z, you know, because Pop didn't like him. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of cats don't understand that. That's the error. Like when it was like your Mo Big or Pop. Nah, Big. What do you mean?
Yeah.
At that time,
I was on the opposite end
you
of it.
had to pick a side. You
had
couldn't
to.
be like, yo, I rock with both.
And-
It was big.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Jay.
big. Oh, yeah, big.
That's
Oh,
them doing my guys. Like
I was Pop, you know, because Pop grabbed, he grabbed me at a place that was familiar. You know what I mean? And I hung on to him, you know. And then I started, you know, rapping with New York. Took a trip to New York. That's when my dad and my grandmother side of the family, all them from Harlem, St. Nick. So I stayed up there a summer. Came back down. Started writing. I was 13 years old. That's when I first started writing because we would go to the corner store, you know, bodegas, and we would see the rap battles. You know, my dad tell me, yo, you know, so I'll go peep at it, you know, and the intensity that they rap with, you know,
Yeah.
it made me want it.
The conviction.
It made me want it, not knowing that, you know, that I think that's something God put in me anyway. That's just how I found it, you know, because when I'm doing it, I just can't explain it.
yeah.
No, I've seen you in your writing process. Like, I don't know if anyone ever seen Al walk around, but he walks around with headphones on.
Right.
And you're actually writing on a constant basis. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I be in a restaurant on
With
napkins and
his
stuff like
feet.
that.
With his
Yeah.
feet like that.
Yeah, you know, I'm a writer, bro.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I'm just
definitely.
something might hit me at the spirit of the moment. I might ask you, you got a pen? You know, you got something I could write on? You got something I could write with? You know, and I want to put it down. I just can't get with putting it on my phone.
Oh, so
you know
still,
what I'm saying?
So, okay, so you don't actually.
Nah, I got books. Yeah, I got books. You know, one in the car.
Not surprised.
Yeah,
Not surprised.
but
We just doing
I
it for the guy.
rode with Ceej. I rode with my bro here. You know, left my car.
And I actually love when y'all get on the track together, man. I've actually seen y'all live. I'm in the comments like, yo, when we get in the collective album. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to position this as if they're a group because all three of these guys are solo acts. But for me, I would love to get a trifecta project right here, right? So it's a
Write it down.
Trifecta.
Nah. But look, no. So you're right, and
Yeah.
this is something that we can just say now, like that we literally just met before we came here.
Yeah.
We all just sat down at the table, like, you know what? What's next for us? And with Track, with DJ Track, and we like, and Trap, who he's not here right now, or John Meaden. But we like, and this is where we see it. All right, we all in different cars on the same highway. And it's gonna be sometimes where I'm gonna need you to drive. He just told you he rode with me. It's gonna be sometimes I need to ride with him. It's gonna be sometimes he need to drive and we both need to be in the back seat. So sometimes Track need to drive. And that's how we're seeing this. So we're like, hey, we need to put together a collective that we have one engine, that one bucket that we drop all of our seeds in. And you can't get him without seeing me, him, but her, and that's where we're at. And we're like, does that lead to a project? Almost undoubtedly.
I think that's the next thing, because y'all all been rapping almost 20 years, right? From a solo aspect. I believe that's the next thing, to move what it is so we don't forget. Someone asked me yesterday, Mo, what is legacy? And I said, legacy is whatever it is that you leave behind, good or bad, right? So the 20 years of work that y'all have put in doesn't go unnoticed or forgotten for that matter. I think at this stage, it's best for y'all to come together as a collective, do the project, and then break off again, almost like the Avengers. They all got their solo movies, but when they come together, it's a blockbuster hit.
I'll say this: we got a plan. We're gonna build a collective together. We're gonna create an energy, create a synergy. From that, we'll do something collective, but we're going to use our influence, our spheres, and ultimately the bond that we have. We're gonna sprout it, and I believe the world's gonna see it.
I love hearing y'all together because I think, top of my head, you got Excel off of Project Love Letter.
Yeah.
You got Defense off of No Weapon Form. And then you have the Wretched off My Mom. My Mom was right?
Yeah.
So I think those, because y'all always manage to make, is that a collective decision? Like, yo, I'm about to record, you know I need a record with you, right? Because we don't have a group record on every one of y'all projects, but we definitely got a feature from Ceej on the Al John. We definitely got a, you know what I'm saying? Right. So how do y'all actually go about with that right there? Like, you know what, this project
it's
needs.
an unwritten, it's just an unwritten law.
Yeah.
Like it's just unwritten. It just, we know that. Like,
Yeah, it's like a no-brainer.
Out of those 3 tracks that y'all got together that I just named, which one that you think that you had the most fun with? The Wretched, Defense, or Excel?
It's between those two. Because the defense is the,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because you said, because you can't even, you know what I'm about. Listen.
Yeah, you said you know when I said, hold up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you like,
Hold up.
now I'm gonna tell you, then I'm gonna tell you my favorite verses
I think
off of
it's
that.
that one.
project.
I think it's that one. Yeah, it's that
Man,
one.
listen,
That
We have fun
I,
doing
I
that.
listen to that so much, man, and I still do because I that was a dope one. But for me, the one I had the most fun with was Exhale.
Okay.
You know, you know what I'm saying? Just how the beat, and not only that, but we did it on News Channel 4 Live. Remember?
We did do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we so
I got up on the floor.
yeah, you know what I mean? You feel me?
And I think
So-
that's dope that y'all know each other lyrics.
Yeah,
I think that's dope, for real.
Hey,
I don't
man.
even rap my own lyrics on our songs.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
do y'all.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But see,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That
tell
really
you,
just show
like,
how much of brothers y'all are.
and like, I think when I met him, I think, what church was that? Like the Canton John?
Yeah, it was at
See, I
Mount
wasn't even
Zion.
gonna go.
Mount
Like,
Zion.
yeah.
And I was hosting it.
And
or
then,
performing or something.
and I think I got your CD, right?
Ex-rapper.
Ex-rapper. I said, he sound like Jay. I said, okay.
and
And
look,
immediately,
Yeah.
I was, you know what I mean? And then I said, I gotta connect with him.
And-
And then when I heard him, I was like, I said, man, you remind me of me, man.
and then I seen
Oh,
him
you
at, I
remember?
seen you at the joint.
I said, hey,
Feeling
man.
sweetly. You say, hey, yo. I said, what's up? He said, yo, you might just want to stick around. You finna leave. I said, yeah. I said, yeah.
Hey,
I said, all right. I said, yeah, I was for the. I said, but all right. And no doubt, this
Yeah,
is,
man.
I couldn't make this up. And I sat down.
Right.
And when I heard him, for the first time, when I heard him, you know what I'm saying? He was just him. It was himself. You know what I mean? He wasn't trying to be, fit the church persona. He wasn't, trying to be somebody he wasn't. But he loved God, and I seen it in his heart. I seen it in his heart. So I instantly gravitated to it.
We was at West College Church, and I seen you, and I was like, yo, and I told my wife, see, this is what I'm talking about. This who I be looking for right here. Like, I told you, it ain't all about this. I can't rock with them, because I just couldn't get with.
Right.
I just couldn't. It never, it just,
I mean,
just
no
couldn't.
shade, but I mean,
But and then we went to the joint in Greenville. It was some kind of news. Cameras was there. It was something. Vic and all those went, and you did a joint about your mom. And I had never felt like that about. I was like, man.
Yeah.
And I stayed that whole night just to talk to this dude. Cause I was like, man, boy, I pray that my music can give people that feel. Boy. And then from there, we just. Because we met and all through different, and then it just, I don't know what happened there. I just was like, nah, these are your guys.
Yeah, it's a covenant.
It really is.
It's a covenant, man, and we don't even know how strong it is, because I couldn't pull myself away from those two if I wanted to, those my brothers.
Plenty of opportunities.
We've had plenty of opportunities. A person don't know they're loyal until that loyalty is tested. You know what I'm saying? But if it's not tested, you can say you're loyal all day. But these guys right here, it's been tested. I believe. I know it has. They're my brothers right there. No,
I got
I ain't
an
going nowhere.
opportunity to see y'all perform together. And at that point, that's when I'm like, okay, I never knew I needed the album from these guys right here. It was at your listening session, easily.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I still got the picture actually.
We had performed together.
Yeah, all three. I mean, like
At 10.
At 10,
I was there. I'm like, yo, and y'all knew each other's moves.
I think it was off
You
my
knew
album,
when to back up and let him
54
go, right?
Yeah.
He knew when to be like, all right. You knew when to be, and you was just like, yo, okay, yeah. These guys get busy, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like again, the big three. Y'all knew each other's moves. Y'all knew when to pass. Y'all knew when, like, all right, lay it up for Ceej right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially them two. them two right there, they got a chemistry.
Yeah.
I love watching them
Yeah,
together,
yeah.
on performing on stage or whatever. I mean ministering, but when I see them, it's like they don't even have to give them heads up.
Right.
It's like, yo,
No rehearsal.
He be knowing the
ain't no
words.
rehearsal.
He be knowing the words. What's the joint?
Hold up.
That's my joint though.
That's different.
Yeah, that's
Say,
my
my
joint.
joint with y'all too is rock bottom. I went back. I was like,
Rock Bottom was the.
Everything. I mean,
Rock Bottom was
everything
like
they do,
the launching pad.
They say,
Like you
y'all
said,
ain't
it was.
Y'all ain't gonna motivate the monster. I'm just meaning
Yeah.
Contra.
Yeah.
but the joint that y'all two got, and he was like, yo, I gotta kill him. I was like, hold on, what are y'all talking about?
Oh,
Like that?
Yeah.
What y'all talking about
yeah,
right
yeah,
now?
yeah.
That's that premeditated.
Yeah,
I was like,
Which one?
Premeditated.
That premeditated. But I was saying some stuff about boy that was fit for a king.
Yeah, if I hear that,
That was about 15 years ago.
That was 16. That was 2016.
Okay.
Well, that's when it was uploaded on DSPs. 2016, the full body.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, but if I
If I got the first line, I get it.
I think my
That's how
favorite
Dope
one
Bill,
is
Dope. Dope is my
And-
joint.
Oh no, I was like I
Yeah.
said, man, dope.
And when
Dope.
on June, why?
Yeah.
When the joint
Denise.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I was there for that.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
I literally witnessed that, and I'm sitting there like, oh
Yeah.
man. I wasn't going crazy. And you know something about that project? Good morning, Melanie, right? Good morning, Melanie, right? That was during the pandemic. That was also when y'all had a situation in Spartanburg going on. What was that? Sugar and Spice joint? Like it was something like that right there, right?
Yeah,
So when I looked at
friend
that,
of ours, her daughter, we was protesting out there. Yeah.
so that right there was a moment. I remember you called me and said, "Yo, Mo, man, I'm hyped to make an album. I'm going to knock this joint out in 3 days. I need you in here every 3 days." I'm like, "What do you need from me?
Oh, yeah.
I just need you there." You know what I'm saying? So I got a chance to actually witness that right there, and it was crazy. Even in that moment, it goes back to that leadership aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? When you listen to that Good Morning, Melanie, And I even saw a change in you around that era when you put out Black Famous. Because I think Black Famous came out in 21.
Yeah,
In 21, and you took a different approach.
yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, what got into Reggie for him to actually take this stance, if you would.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even some of the features, even some of the titles, Black Famous, when you got which is one of my favorite, is Mr. Black Man. Oh, poor little black man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what was it about that time that y'all felt like, you know what, this is in me right now. I need to go ahead and get this out.
And like I said,
That
for
was
me,
17.
Yeah.
for me, it's moments.
Yeah, right.
And remember, there was a lot. Let's see,
There's a lot going
election
on.
stuff comes in. That term, it was, and then for me, it was like, man, I have to speak. Like my mind, I have to speak what's on the tip of my mind.
Mhm.
I mean, I was like, man, our culture, man, we gotta figure out, because Melody was the culture, and I started doing research, and I was like, man, there was a radio station that was the first black-owned business, after the Civil War, was a radio station. And I was like, or after the Civil Rights Movement, I was like, that's crazy. It was important to our culture to know, like, hey, we got to speak to you through our music. That was the first thing that everybody gravitated towards and added value to, and the way in which we bring music. And I was like, man, so I want to make the whole thing based off of like a radio station. And that's happening, and then Melanie is going off, and she's really just the black culture speaking on everything.
Right.
And that's why some of the tracks had names like Aunt Denise, Cousin Clay, like, and that's what it was about. And then as we went through that, and then Rock was in that space.
Right.
So for me, that's what it was. I was like, man, I just want to be able to get this off in this moment in time.
And what was yours exactly? What was the whole?
Man, I think I was a little angry, though.
It felt like it.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
But it felt like it.
Definitely angry. I definitely will. Because I know if I don't get it out, like, I'm probably not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Because how my mind works, I don't want to just go in there and just be in there and just for the sake of just doing music. You know what I'm saying? So I was just in a space where it was just like, and then I'll listen. They inspire me when they're doing stuff, and then I'd be like, oh.
There's still a competition there as well. Friendly competition, of course. Y'all still MCs at the end of the day, but still.
You think it?
I would hope so.
I mean, we push each other. I'll say that.
Yeah,
and I ain't trying to be on they Christian, they can't say nah. But we really be on cause that would be feeling like
I'd
sometimes.
be curious though to
Like,
they
It's
feel.
okay
So I'm
to
like,
say it's a competitive
like,
nature between friends. Because the Lock said that, like, yo, you don't think we go in there and try to have the best verse? Just so happens Styles showed up that day.
Right.
Yeah.
Sheik got it. Even if you listen to the last Locks album, Sheik had the better verses throughout the whole album.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I think it's okay to say, nah, I get on the track. I'm gonna watch you, right? See, go ahead,
But we don't even talk like us. We don't really.
I think this guy does.
Yeah.
I think
Put it like this.
He might thank you.
You want to keep.
yeah.
You want to keep. You want to make sure that you know.
you know different when he told you, yo, you might want to sit down and watch
He said, So yeah. Afterwards, me and him been locked ever since, man. That was years ago. Years ago.
Did you feel empty once you actually finished Black Famous? Did you still have that anger, or was it like,
And
nah,
that was
that's
that.
all?
I got that out. That was.
How was that received? Because it was different for you. How was that received by your audience?
They were scared for me to do it in the churches, for sure. I remember when my brother, I don't want to say his name because, but he was like, hey, let's just not do Black Man. Yeah. Huh. All right. I understood. And then there's one on there talking about fake pastors and fake prophets. Because I know the people that I don't want to hurt anything that he has going on either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was kind of one of those things where people will.
If you talk about challenges, that's some of my biggest challenges. Biggest challenge, and I didn't want to go into this rhetoric of saying, because it's some of the biggest challenges, but it's also the biggest blessings when you find ministries that do back you.
When you make the breakthrough. And see, that was another point that I wanted to make before we get out of here. Matter of fact, we're gonna end it off on this one right here. Do y'all feel that y'all music actually have a safe space? Because when you look at the traditional sense of the church, it's like, some churches, we're not gonna group everyone, right? Especially in the South. It's like, like you said, the braids, tattoo, But then when you're like, okay, let's go over here to the hip hop, gospel rappers, man, get out of here. Do y'all feel what it is that y'all offer has a safe space? Be like, I love seeing y'all post music so I can post it in the group like, bam.
What are you listening to?
Yeah, I love you.
Yeah, I try to post yours today, but it won't come up for some odd reason. I didn't want to just put the clip art of it. I want you to hear what he's saying.
Right.
Even the part where he was like, my moment, like that was real at that point.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, but do y'all feel that? That's the last question. We're gonna get out of here.
Safe space. I'll say that's probably just the most. It's not no, right? Like, but I'll say that in ministry, and I'm learning not to box in the church. We gotta stop doing it to where, because it's easy to say, yeah, the church don't, and that's not true.
Right.
There are some people. The church is people within that, and there's some ministry. Like I was told, one of my first things after getting saved, I was told in the church, the pastor said, this young man right here, I feel like he got something to say. And let me come up. Well, all I could say at this point was what I had. Bro, I had just got saved. You know that man took that microphone from me halfway through and told me I was the devil. But we gonna get it out of him though, y'all.
Wow.
I got up, walked right out that door, and I was hot. Dude ran out. Hey, bro, I was gonna tell you, man, I needed to hear that. I don't care what they saying, man. Like, I needed that from you, man. Man, I needed that. I love you. And went back to the church. And that's when and it could have stopped me completely right there, but it didn't. And I was like, that ain't a safe space. But there's been ministers, people, and I'm my own father. Just got out of prison a few years ago. And I've had ministers, pastors throughout my years, first one being a white man. And that white man brought me in and said, I prayed for a rapper. And he put me in a space and he showed me how to do kingdom. And then it went on from there, and someone like my father figures. And I said, oh, that's a safe space. So what I'm saying is, it's not no. But I think that, back to your challenge questions, we just have these challenges within the church, without the church, as everyone else. And I think, I don't expect safety from something that God is calling me to do that I know is gonna step on toes, that's gonna be so unique to me, that's not gonna be received. We go preach the gospel in places where they're just not gonna receive it, but that's what God calls us to. So I don't look for safety in something that Paul said, I glory in my weakness. I'm glad I'm weak in this, because then you get to see the power of God. So I wanna feel in those places, because I've also been in places where they like, oh shoot, boy, we wasn't here for that. We didn't even want to hear that. And then them folks be like, dang, I don't even listen to rap, but you, yes.
Same thing.
With all of them.
Same thing.
And I think that's what we bring to as a collective. That's
Same
what
thing.
we change the narrative on what all this is.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate your time, my man. I know.
Appreciate you. Bro. You did your homework for real, like, bro.
Hey, man.
I respect that, bro, and I respect everything you're doing.
He always do that, man.
You're doing this, man.
He'll call.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
Song, hey, that song you had there, man. I just want to tell you, I see you. And I'll talk to you again.
Hey, what comes next? You're gonna love what comes next from
I'm looking forward to it, my man.
Yeah, this was needed. Like, I'm talking about right now in this moment, you are in line with what God has in store with us. Like, literally, it's a part of like all this. So can't wait to see what comes.
My man, I appreciate your time, all right?
Absolutely,
Yup.
My
man.
man.